guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Follow a Sketch February for Saturday, February 12th. So today's sketch is this one. Lots of circular decorations. There's some mixed media in the background and then a couple of layered photos. This was made by Laura Rumble at Scrap Sketches for Stick It Down. So I have a couple of stencils, a couple of photos, and I figure we'll do a little bit of mixed media. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so what I have done is pulled out a couple of P13 papers from a paper pad. I've also got some, I think they're 49 and market stamps. And I literally mean stamps, not stamps that you push down and put ink on. I have a couple of Scrapping Reflection stencils as well. What I'm going to do first, though, is figure out the placement of my photos and where it's going to go. That way I can kind of plan out where my mixed media is going. Now, I don't always plan out where the mixed media goes. Sometimes I just go for it. Some reason this time I decided to do a little planning. So I'm using a sheet of white cardstock as my base, and what that is going to do is allow me to go ahead and get some exciting things down on the paper. I pulled out my Speckled Egg Distress Oxide spray. I'm going to place that spray right on top of an acrylic block. I did spray a little bit of water on it, and then I'm going to put the mixed media over here on the left-hand side of the layout. So I do just keep on lightly tapping that acrylic block all over my paper. That way I get the color all the way down on the left-hand side. Now, I do cover up a good portion of that, but I'm not stressing out about it whatsoever. I like how the little bits peek out in my final version of the layout. Very similar to how the bits peek out in the sketch. So I do decide to heat gun this bad boy a little bit because I want to layer up mixed media on top of this, and I really don't want it to turn into mud, right? Even though I'm using a brown ink over top of it, I just don't want it to turn into gross mud. And the color I'm using in Distress Oxide is Gathered Twigs. And the only reason why I even remember what these colors are is because I haven't put them away yet. The desk is still a mess, right? And you can kind of see like everything around me right now. What did I just say that was? Gathered Twigs. I'm going to just use this wood grain stencil on, again, the left-hand side of the layout. Now, you might think that that is a little bit weird, but in the sketch, it looks like there is the mixed media on this side only. So I am really just going to run with that and embrace that fully. So I go ahead and get that down and pull that stencil off, and now we're doing yet another stencil. So this is one of the mandala stencils from Scrapping Reflections. I'm pretty sure it's mandala 2. There's like 6 or 7 of them now, so, you know, sometimes I just don't remember which ones are which. But what I have decided is to take some Alabaster Glitter Glaze. So that is a white glitter glaze. It is going to be shiny, but it's not going to be stupid glittery shiny like most of my other glitter, like Fallen Snow. You guys have seen me use Fallen Snow a ton. So it's not going to be that level of shininess. What the Alabaster Glitter Glaze is going to do is just give me just a nice white shimmery bit over top of the white portions of the cardstock, and then it's going to pull the color from the inks, and it'll kind of take on the color of the ink that is below it. So that brown is going to come through a little bit. The speckled egg is going to come through a little bit. Not a ton, but just a little bit. So I am being careful not to get my glitter glaze on the outside of the stencil too much, because I don't want a ring around this. I just want the actual portion of the stencil. Now I end up covering up more of the glitter glaze than I thought I was going to. You know, I said all that about figuring out my photos so I could figure out the mixed media, and then really didn't pay a whole heck of a lot of attention to where the glitter glaze was going to go. I was more concerned about the bottom layers of mixed media than the glitter glaze layer. So I go ahead and pull that off, and I'm actually go and rinse that off right away, you guys. So go me. It didn't just sit in the room. Now, is the other stencil with just the ink on it still just sitting there on the table? Yeah, it is, but that's fine, right? Like, you just got to go rinse that off some water and it's fine. The glitter glaze, though, would eventually dry on there, which you can pick off or soak in water and it would come off as well. But let's face it, it is a lot easier to take care of it in the moment. A lot faster, you know, less stress, all that kind of stuff. But if you ever choose to be lazy with your stencils, know that it's not going to hurt them. You're just going to have gunk on them. So I have taken the roll of stamps, and I'm also taking some glitter ribbon, and I'm going to create a little bit of a decoration peeking out of the left-hand side of the photos. And then I'm going to do it on the right-hand side as well. I was trying to figure out a way to get that kind of banner thing going on like it is in the sketch. But ultimately, I decided to go my own way and do my own thing. So I'm definitely happy with how this came out. When I picked the sketch, I actually really did plan on using stars on the sketch because, you know, I love scrapbooking with stars. But for some reason, this one just felt like I needed to do this layout instead. So sometimes that's what happens. You can have an idea for something, and you think that that's the direction you're going to go, and you don't go that direction. You go to someplace completely different. And that's cool, guys. Like, just go with the flow, go with wherever your creativity is going to take you in that moment. So here's where I was trying to pull in the banner. Now, do know that the glitter glaze and everything is wet. So I am now working on top of wet mixed media. So I'm trying hard, but not too hard, to not play around with it so much. So I don't want it to smear or anything like that. I like the position of my photos. I like the position of the mixed media. So now I just need to get the decoration on there. And I wasn't entirely sure how else I was going to decorate this. I was searching through some chipboard sheets, and I found this arrow that says happiness found. So I thought that that could take the place of the banner. And then I was looking at my die cuts. I was trying to see if I had any florals that might go with this. And I pulled out these Tim Holtz realistic ones. And I'm going to pop up some of them, and some of them I'm going to tuck underneath. So it's going to give me a little bit of height on my page, for the ones that are popped up, and then the ones underneath are going to be tucked in, and I think it turns out great. Like, I love the feel of this page. It is not my normal big, bold, colorful, and I feel like I'm kind of going back and forth with my layouts, where it's kind of a little bit of a softer feel, or my version of a softer feel, I guess, and then big, bold colors. So that makes me happy, being able to go back and forth like that. So now I'm just going through and picking out what florals I want to use. I thought I was going to use this one here at the top because I like the way that it kind of pointed up. However, I quickly realized that I have roses on every other place that I added the florals. So I felt like I needed to put roses up there too. So I went ahead and pulled that one off and then replaced it with this rose die cut. So now there's kind of a continuity thing going on that page. So there it is, you guys. That is my layout for today. Make sure you join the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group so you can follow along with Follow a Sketch February. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.